everyone. Namaste. Can you hear me? Today I have a microphone. I'm just gonna put it here and then you guys can tell me if the sound was better. So today I am teaching in our shared yoga room that we have in our community. So I actually have 4 amazing students with me physically in the room. So maybe you guys are going to hear some noise or some other movements happening, and that's the reason why. Today we're going to do, again, a little journey from Yang to Yin. So we're going to start a little bit more full power and active to get us sweat and build some strength and power. And then towards the end, we're going to bring it down a little bit and work more on some Yin cultivating energy. So a little bit more relaxing, working on surrendering, melting, and just enjoying a few moments of stillness before the end of the practice. All right, it's going to be around 60 minutes long. If you feel that you need a block or a cushion or anything, go grab that. Otherwise, if you have everything that you need already, let's come to a comfortable seated position. It might be with your legs crossed like this, or it might be sitting on your heels. If you are extra tight on your hips, it really helps to bring cushions or anything that can bring a little bit more height to your bum, because the higher your bum goes up from the floor, the easier it is to have your knees closer to the ground and a straight spine. So take a moment just to settle in to your sitting position. I'm going to play a little bit with this mic today, all right, so we see what works. So making the final adjustments that you need, and then starting to invite the eyes to close. Transferring the awareness, transferring your attention from what's happening outside to what's happening inside of you. And usually the best way to do that is by heightening your awareness on your breath. The breath makes this connection with the present moment. The breath connects body, mind, and spirit all together. So allow yourself a few moments to simply sit with your breath, becoming fully present right here, right now. Take a moment to welcome yourself on your mat. And a moment of gratitude for also showing up on your mat today. If you would like to bring the hands together and pray in front of your heart, taking a moment to set an intention for this practice. Anything you would like to invite in, cultivate, or achieve. Being very clear and very honest in your intentions. And bowing the head to the heart. Very nice. If you're ready to bring the head back to center, release the hands down on your lap again. A few more moments of awareness on the breath. Really embodying this intention, feeling it in your body, in your cells, in your bones, in every part of your being. As you're ready, you can start to invite the eyes to open. You can remove any cushion you've placed underneath you. And let's start standing up. So, where do I work this? Here. Okay, now my head is being cut. Great. I think it worked. Yep. All right. Amazing. So coming to the top of your mat, bring the mounds of your big toes together and your heels slightly apart, almost like your feet want to be parallel from the outer edges. Start activating your feet so you feel the ground and earth underneath your feet, and invite this energy to rise up from the earth, up through your active and engaged legs, the lift on your pelvic floor. Your navel comes in and up towards your spine, and your shoulders open back and down. If you know what Ujjayi breath means, start to activate your Ujjayi breath, please. Creating that hissing sound in the back of your throat, allowing the air to come in and out through your nose. We begin sun salutation, A. On the inhale, lift your arms up and look up to the back of your thumbs. As you exhale, fold forward from the hips all the way down, release your head down, bring your hands on the ground. You can bend your knees. On the inhale, open your chest, look slightly forward. Hands can come up to the shins if needed. On the exhale, plant your hands down on the floor, step back. You can bring your knees down for this first one and then lower yourself down with grace. And if you can, hold yourself a 90-degree angle at your elbow. If not, you drop all the way down to the ground. On the inhale, you can come up to a cobra or a full upward dog variation. And on the exhale, let's push back to downward dog, where we'll be for 5 breaths. Once you arrive in your downward dog, if this is like the beginning of your day and your body's a bit tight, probably feels good to pedal your heels around a little bit, bending one leg at a time. Any movement in downward dog that feels good for your body. Maybe if your shoulders are the tightest, you want to move your shoulders and your torso around. If it's the hamstrings, you pedal the heels. Very nice. We bend the knees, we look in between the hands. Inhale, step forward in between your hands and lift your chest. Lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward all the way down, releasing the head down to Uttanasana. Inhale, come up, nice and strong. Strong legs, strong arms, look up. Exhale, arms by your side, Samasthiti. Round 2. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, hands on the ground, relax the head down, bend your knees if you need. Inhale, open the chest, lift the spine. Exhale, plant the hands down. You can step back, jump back, and lower down to Chaturanga. Inhale, open your chest, roll your shoulders back and down, top of the feet on the floor. And on the exhale, push back into downward facing dog, second round. Down dog, make sure you have your hands shoulder width apart, with your fingers spread wide apart. Your feet are hip width. Maybe your heels are on the floor, maybe they're not. That is not important. As long as your legs are active. And here the priority is the spine. So you want your spine to be straight. So most likely, some of us will need to bend the knees and tilt the pelvis so that your sit bones are sticking up towards the sky. That's going to lengthen your back. And then if you want, you can start to straighten your legs just a little bit without messing up what you gain in the spine. One more breath here. Nice, and off we go. Bend your knees, look in between your hands. Inhale, step or jump, float, and lift the chest. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift yourself up with strong feet on the ground, palms touch, look up. Exhale, bring the hands down, Samasthiti. We go one more. Inhale, lift it up, look up, bring your belly in and up. Exhale, flow forward and down, all the way releasing the head. Inhale, open the heart, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, hands down, step or jump back and lower down, Chaturanga. Inhale to open the chest, legs are strong, top of the feet is down. Exhale, press back, lift your hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Sun salutations are a great warm-up for the body, starting to create and build this internal heat, this internal fire that's necessary for detoxification, necessary for protecting the body from the inside, and creates the energy we need to go through our practice with ease and grace. Take one final breath here. And then bend your knees, look in between your hands, and on the inhale, step, jump, float, and lift your chest. Exhale, fold all the way down, Uttanasana. Inhale to rise up, strong legs, strong feet on the floor, and palms touch, reach higher. Exhale, hands by your sides, Samasthiti. We go for fourth round. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, flow forward and down. From the hips down to Uttanasana. Inhale, it's just to lengthen the spine, create the space. Exhale, hands on the ground. Step, jump back, Chaturanga. Inhale, open your chest, roll the shoulders back and down. Exhale, lift the hips for downward facing dog. Rolling the shoulders away from the ears in downward facing dog. Legs are active and the fingers are engaged, like the tip of the fingers are actively pressing down into the earth to take some of the weight out of the wrists. We will now bend our knees, look in between your hands, prepare, and on the inhale, we step or jump forward and lift the chest, landing in Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana, release the head. Inhale, rise up, the Urdhva Hastasana, shoulders down as the hands stand up. Exhale, Samasthiti. We go our final round. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, Chaturanga, step or jump back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 more breaths here. This is 1. Enjoy your breath. This is 2. 3. 4. And 5. At the end of that exhale, you can start to bend your knees and look forward. When the inhale comes, you're ready to hop, step, or jump to Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold all the way down to Uttanasana. And on the inhale, rise up. Urdhva Hastasana, shoulders down, hands touch. Exhale, hands by your side, Samasthiti. Surya Namaskar B, guys. Here we go. Inhale, bend your knees, sweep the arms up, come to chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Here the flow is the same. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, step or jump back, Chaturanga Dandasana, lower down with control. If you're tired, put your knees down. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, lift your hips. Now we bring the left heel down 45 degrees. We bring the right foot forward in between the hands and we rise up to Virabhadrasana A. Look up to your hands. Exhale as you bring your hands down, step back and lower down. One long exhale. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. We go the other side. Your right foot is down 45 degrees. The left foot is in between your hands and you rise up, Virabhadrasana A. Exhale, bringing the hands down, stepping back and lowering down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to open your chest. And exhale to push back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. If you notice that your breath got a little bit out of rhythm and out of sync, you can drop your knees down and take a child's pose instead of the down dog to come back to equanimous breath. Remember, equanimous breath, equanimous mind, and this is what we're looking for. So it's not about how the pose looks, it's about the quality of the breath as we're in the poses. So priority is always the breath and not the pose. Super nice. Here we go. Bend the knees. Look forward. Inhale. Step or jump forward and lift your chest. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale. Fold into Uttanasana. Inhale. Bend your knees. Squeeze your knees together and come up to chair pose. Look up. Exhale. Stand up. Arms down. Samasthiti. Second round. Inhale. Bend your knees. Bring the arms up. Chair pose. Exhale. Fold forward, head down. Inhale, open your chest, look slightly forward. Exhale, plant your hands on the ground, step or jump back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, open the chest in upward facing dog. Exhale to push back into downward facing dog. From here, prepare the left foot down, step the right foot forward and rise up to Virabhadrasana A, Warrior One. Palms touch. Exhale, bring the hands down, step back and lower down. That's one long exhale. Inhale to open the chest. Exhale to lift your hips. We go other side. So now the left foot is in between the hands, the right foot is down 45 degrees. And you rise up to Warrior One. The hips are square to the front of your mat. Exhale, bringing the hands down and lowering down into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Very nice. Second round of Surya Namaskar B. We have just one more to go. So enjoy every movement, enjoy every breath. Trying to stay present with the sound of your breath throughout your practice. We bend the knees, look forward, inhale, step or jump forward and lift your chest. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, bend your knees, squeeze them together, lift your hands, hands together, look up. Exhale, stand up, Samasthiti. We go for our last round. Inhale, bend your knees, sweep the hands up, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, fold forward, release the head down, Uttanasana. Inhale, open the chest, look slightly forward. Exhale, plant the hands down firmly on the ground and chaturanga. Nice. Inhale, open the chest, roll the shoulders back and down. Exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Left heel down, right foot forward, rise up on the inhale to warrior one. Hands touch. Exhale, bring the hands down, step back and lower down. Inhale for upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Left foot comes in between the hands with the right heel down. Inhale to warrior one. Exhale. Bring the hands down, step back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Strong legs. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. 1. 2. Release your head in downward facing dog. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Engage your full hand and fingers on the floor. Activate your legs and bring your navel in. Down dog is not a resting pose. Bend your knees, look in between your hands and inhale, step, jump, float, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, bend your knees, bring the arms up, look up. Exhale, stand up, arms down, Samasthiti. Are we warmed up? So we begin. You can stay to the front of your mat. Just separate your feet hip width apart. Bring your hands on your hips, and on the inhale, open your chest. As you exhale, fold forward, grab a hold of your big toes with your peace sign fingers. On the inhale, open your chest. And on the exhale, fold forward, opening the elbows out to the sides. Bend your knees if your ribs are super far away from your thighs. And try to glue your ribs to your thighs. Once you have that connection, see if you can straighten your legs a little bit more without losing that connection. Breathe into the body, and especially breathe into the areas where you feel the resistance the most, where you feel that perhaps that's where it's getting stuck. That's where you want to send the prana, that's where you want to send the breath. On the inhale, open your chest, lengthen your spine. Exhale, bring your hands onto your hips. On the inhale, rise up. On the exhale, step your feet together again for Samasthiti. Okay, from now, no, let me face this way. Yes. You will step your left leg back. You have your right foot forward. And you want to have the knee right above the ankle. So the right knee is directly above the ankle. Your hips are square to the front of your mat, as best as you can. And your arms come up to warrior one. Looking up to the back of your thumbs. Bring your shoulders down away from the ears. Bring your navel in towards your spine. And activate that back leg so that you bring the left side of your hip forward in line with the right. One more breath here, warrior one. then we open the arms, slide the back foot further back, and you're gonna sink lower into warrior two. So the knee continues directly above the ankle. Arms are shoulder height. You guys are looking so cute here in this room. Super nice, strong arms, active hands. And on the inhale, straighten your front leg. Close in your stance a little bit with your back foot walking slightly forward. Lean forward like you want to come forward with your hands. And then see, maybe you can grab your big toe. Maybe you bring your hand on your foot or on your leg. And the other arm stays up. And imagine that this hand actually wants to lift you up. So the energy is not dropping down dead into the floor. You're rising up. You're rising up and you're also leaning back. Like an imaginary wall behind you that you want to bring your whole back onto this wall. Super nice. On the inhale, come all the way up. And now we will close the stance a little bit more and bring the back foot 45 degrees. With your left hand in the sky, the right hand on your hip, you will start on the exhale to fold forward and come into a twist. So if possible, left hand outside the right foot. If that is too much, then you bring the hand on top of the foot or on the inside. And you start to twist yourself. If it's comfortable for your shoulder, you can lift your right hand up towards the sky. And use the hand that's on the ground or on your foot to help you twist your torso to your side wall, the side of your mat. One more breath here, enjoying this twist. And on the inhale, you're gonna gracefully start to rise up back to a warrior two position. Yes, find your way all the way with grace to warrior two. Exhale, you can bring your forearm on your thigh, or you can bring your hand down on the ground. A little bit more challenging is the hand on the ground. The top arm goes above your head. You can stay here, or you can even go for a bind, where you bring the right arm in front of the leg and the top arm behind you, and you try to bind behind you, where the right hand is holding on to your left wrist. That's too much, just forget about it and go back to any other variations. Nice, everyone is doing the bind in this room, exciting. If you're doing the bind, think about leaning back. Yes, nice. And on the inhale, you're gonna bring yourself up. And you're gonna bring your back knee down. And we're gonna do one more twist. Your inhale, bring the left arm up. And exhale, bringing your left arm across and over to find yourself in a twist. You can keep the knee on the ground if it's best for you. If you're quite comfortable here, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee off the floor, and challenge yourself a little bit more in your twist. Super nice. Take your last exhale on this twist. And on the inhale, bring your hands back to the floor. Step the right foot back, and as you exhale, lower yourself down into Chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Right, if you're tired and you want to take a child's pose, this is a good time to take a child's pose. If you're feeling good and you want to build some strength in your shoulders, you'll bring your forearms down on the ground, forearms parallel, hands firmly placed on the mat with the fingers spread wide. You'll lift your knees off the floor, walk your feet towards your elbows. The arms are actively pulling you up away from the floor. You can just stay here if this is challenging for your shoulders. If it's still okay, I want you to lift the right leg up and hold for 4, 3, 2, 1, bring the right leg down, left leg up. 4, continue to push yourself away from the floor with your arms. 3, 2, and 1. Bring the left leg down, shoulders down, knee down, head down, child's pose. Very nice. If you have a Pincha Mayurasana practice, a forearm balance, you can also do that now that we build a little bit more strength in the shoulders. If not, if it's not for you, definitely just stay in your child's pose. One more breath. If you need to stay longer, please do. It's important that we reconnect to our breath, that we reconnect with our intention. And only as you're ready, you have the options to flow through a vinyasa or go straight into downward facing dog. Up to you. I'll flow through the whole vinyasa. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Bend your knees, look in between your hands, and as you inhale, step or jump forward, open your chest. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise all the way up, lift your arms, look up. Uttanasana. Exhale, hands by your side, Samasthiti. Nice, we have the other side now. So I'll switch around so I can still be facing you. And now you step the right foot back. So you have the left foot forward, the right foot back foot is 45 degrees, front knee is above the ankle. Work on bringing the right side of the hip forward in line with the left. And on the inhale, lift your arms up. You're in Virabhadrasana, a warrior 1. 5 breaths here. Work the shoulders away from the ears at all times. The shoulders are workaholic and they love to work in every pose. So keep reminding yourself to relax the shoulders away from the ears. Bring the navel in and up to protect your lower back. And then on the following inhale, open your arms. Slide your back foot further back. Lower yourself down to a warrior 2. Now the back foot points to the side of your mat. Now you're opening the hips. So the work here is open the knee out to the side, open the hips, strong through the arms. Warrior pose. Nice. On the following inhale, straighten your front leg. Close your stance in a little bit. Trikonasana, have a shorter stance. Now you lean forward first, and then you bring your hand down towards your foot or towards your leg, a block if you need. And you're feeling here a stretch in the side of your body, maybe inside of your leg. The hand is reaching up towards the sky, lifting you up away from the floor. Use the following inhale to rise up. Now we square the hips, so back foot points 45 degrees and the hips move to be squared to the front of your mat. You can lift the right arm and we prepare the twist. So as you exhale, you come forward and then you bring your right hand outside your left foot for full variation, on top or in the inside if it's too much. Then you start to twist. And if possible, you lift the left hand up towards the sky. Continue to work those legs actively on the twist. Remember, energy never dropping, always rising. So everything is wanting to lift away from the floor. One more breath. Warrior 2, as you inhale, gracefully find a transition to a warrior 2 pose. And on the exhale, your variation of Utthita Parsvakonasana. So maybe you brought the arm on the leg, maybe you brought the hand down outside the left foot, or perhaps you went for the bind. So see what it is that feels good on this side. Remember, for the bind, you want to think about leaning backwards against the imaginary wall behind you. Strong through the legs, strong through the core. And as you exhale, bring your hands down on the ground. We're going for the twist. So we brought the knee down. If you don't need the knee down, then don't do it. You can lift the right arm up and then work that arm coming across your variation of twist. So either you tuck your back toes and lift your knee up, or you keep the knee on the ground. Your hands can be in prayer. If your hands are in prayer, press them together and open the chest. Or maybe your hands are apart. You can use them to help you create more space through your torso. And as you exhale, lower down the hands. Step the left foot back and lower yourself down to Chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling to downward facing dog. And here we have the second session of shoulder strengthening. Remember that child's pose is what you can be doing if that's too much for you right now. Otherwise, you bring the hands on the ground. The forearm parallel on the ground. Tuck your toes, you lift your bum. You walk your feet as close as you can towards your elbows. Continue to lift yourself away from the floor and try to look up between your arms on the mat. We start with the left leg now. Inhale, left leg up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring it down. Rise the right one. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can go up to full Pincha Mayurasana or down back into child's pose. We're all meet in child's pose. I personally like to bring my arms by the sides of the body and melt the shoulders down towards the ground. If you feel that you need to let the air out through the mouth and a little cooling breath, please feel free to do so. Reconnect to the breath. Reconnect to your intention. If you need a little bit more time here, please stay. Otherwise, bring your hands on the ground and come up to a downward facing dog. Bend your knees, looking between your hands on the inhale, step or jump forward. Lift your chest. Exhale, fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, all the way up to standing with your arms above your head. And as you exhale, you'll bring the hands by your sides for Samasthiti. Okay, so we have a balancing flow now. So transfer your weight over to your left foot, really root that left foot down on the ground. You're going to invite the right leg to come up. Few options. Hold on to your knee. Hold on to your toe with your leg bent, or hold on to your toe with your leg straight. See what's available for you today. Nice. Now bring the left hand to hold the side of the foot or the knee, and bring your right arm back. And see if your gaze can follow your hand behind you. Remember, balance is reflection of the mind. So it's a good way to check in and see where we're at. When you look back again to the front, see if you can grab a hold of your toe again or of your knee. And now you let go. Keep your legs strong. Point your toes, hands on your hips, engage your core. Stay. 3, 2, let it burn. 1, exhale, release. Don't even think about it, bring the left leg up. Don't let the mind kick in, guys, truly. Just go with the flow. Super good. Find your balance now. The right foot on the ground. Find a point in front of you that's not moving and stare at that. Don't stare at me right now because I might move. To find a balance. Let's switch the hands over. Left hand outside, right hand outside the left foot. Left hand behind you. See if your gaze can find your hand. Work that twist. Open the chest. Lengthen to the crown of the head. Yes. And on the exhale, go forward. Hold on to your big toe or your knee. And now point. Hands on the hips. Stay. 3. Stay. 2. Stay. 1. Exhale down. Very nice. Good one. Alright, now we're going to start bringing the energy down, alright? So come to, again, to the top of your mat if you have moved. On the inhale, lift your arms, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold forward, so Uttanasana. Stay in Uttanasana, separate your feet hip width apart. Hold on to your elbows. Relax your head completely. Your legs might be straight, might be bent. That's not so important, as long as you can feel a sensation in your hamstrings. And ideally you want to feel it like in the belly of the muscle, not in the insertion. So you don't want to be feeling the back of your knee or the back of your sit bones. You want to be feeling anywhere in the back of your thighs, the muscle, the belly of the muscles, or maybe in your calves. So bend your knees or straighten them. You can play with both variations and see how that affects the feeling of the stretch. Then you can say yes with the head. You can say no with the head. You can do a little swing side to side. Still keep using your Ujjayi breath if you have it. Even though now it doesn't need to be so strong, because we are now starting to bring the energy down, but it's good to still have it there so that you can focus on the sound of your Ujjayi breath. Very nice. You can release the hands down. You can open your feet a little bit wider. You can even point the toes out and the heels in if that's best for you, because we're going to start to lower down into a squat. Now what happens with the squat, that squat is so easy for some and very difficult for others. So if squat is easy for you, you're there, you're going to be here. If you have a hard time kind of finding your squat, you might want to move to a wall and do your squat on the wall, so that you don't have to worry about balancing. So you can use the wall like this, or you can use the wall like this. Depends on kind of where you fall over to. Okay, another option is just to roll up your mat or get a cushion or block or something and just put your heels up on it if your heels don't touch the floor. And then you're going to be here, because you're going to be here for 2 minutes. So really take a time to find what's good, a position that you can stay for 2 minutes without moving. So this pose is our transition from our Yang Yoga into our Yin Yoga. All right, we're going to use this squat to start to melt the body down, to start to disengage muscles, to start to work the connective tissues of the body that get stretched when the muscles are relaxed. So slowly, as you remain here, Tune into your exhales, and on every exhale, invite your body to melt, to release, and relax. Even though we can't relax completely, because we still have to stay in the squat shape, notice what's everything that you don't need, and let that go. In this transition from yang to yin, notice what happens to the breath. Maybe it goes very short and shallow, maybe it goes slow and deep. There's no right or wrong, there's nothing that should be happening. Just connecting with what is. Just connecting to the present moment, becoming aware of what's going on inside of us. Scan your body, see if there's any part of your body that is still resisting a little bit to let go. Take a deep breath there, and on the exhale, melt a little bit more. And with kindness and gentleness, invite the body to keep relaxing and releasing. Even if it's not comfortable. How much can we remain still? How much can we remain aware and present in the discomfort? A few more moments here. See if there's anything that can let go a little bit more. Maybe it's the head. Maybe it's the shoulder. Maybe it's the jaw. Maybe the belly can pop out a little bit more. Maybe your toes can be softer on the floor. Slowly, very slowly, start to roll vertebrae by vertebrae up until your head comes up. You can interlace your fingers, only if you want, and take a little counter stretch, opening the shoulders a little bit. Or if you're dying to get your hips out of there, just release the pose in any way. Take a few moments in what we call the rebound. Rebound in Yin Yoga can be done in any position where you're able to completely relax and observe the sensations of the previous pose. So you might find yourself like me in a belly down position. You might find yourself in a Shavasana shape, child's pose, or fetal pose are usually my favorite rebounds. So you're just going to be here for a moment, exploring the results of the previous pose, exploring the results of this transition from yang to yin, observing the quality of your thoughts, the energy in the body. From laying on the floor, we're going to come into our second yin pose. I'm going to show you a few options, okay? And then you choose and we do together. So one option is you bring the elbows on the ground and you're going to stay here. In this pose, you really want to drop into your shoulder girdle. So it's like your shoulders are going to come up into your ears. So you're not going to be holding yourself up. This would be a yang variation of this pose. A yin variation of this pose looks like this. So everything is kind of bloofed, heavy down towards the ground. Your stomach is on the floor. This pose works stomach and spleen meridian, so it's very good for digestive system and many other benefits of working with the earth element. You can choose what you want to do with your head. You can be with the head dropped all the way forward, you can be holding your head up, or you can drop it even back, okay? You should be feeling a gentle compression in your lower back and an opening across the front body. If this is very subtle for you, too gentle to be getting any kind of sensation, what you can do is instead of being on your elbows, if you have something like a block, you can put your elbows higher on the block, or you can bring your hands on the ground and lift up. So then now you're using your hands. The more flexible, the more space you have in your body, the more you're going to need to walk your hands in to get a sensation. So you might be looking like this, yeah? To get this opening across the front and this compression across the back. So maybe you're here, and again, you drop, and everything is yinned out. So this pose looks like this. So by now you know if you need to be here, or if you need to be here. And we're going to stay in stillness for a few more moments. Find your variation. Drop into it, so really just bloof, melt. Still a little yang out because you still have to support yourself, but try to see what's just excess, what's just perhaps habit. We tend to be human doings instead of human beings. So try to step out of the doing and just drop into the being. Being here in stillness for a few more moments. Sometimes this pose we build tension in the glutes and in the stomach. So make sure your bum is soft, your belly is soft, also the legs and the feet. Continue to focus on the letting go of the body, letting go of any sort of control of the breath as well. The last few moments here. Notice that with the time of the hold, the body perhaps starts to create some resistance. So tune in, breathe in deeply, and on the exhale, go back to relaxing and surrendering. And from here, as slow as you can, start to push yourself back into a child's pose. Observe the sensations in the body, especially lower back, maybe shoulders. As slow as you can, the slower the better. Really take your time. Stay present with all the sensations of this release. You can choose to do your child's pose with your knees together or apart, whatever feels best for your lower back. If you want to play around a little bit and see what suits you best right now. Then I'm going to let you here for a few moments in silence by yourself to simply be with the results of the previous pose. Super nice, guys. Start to roll up. Actually, you don't even need to roll so much up because I want you back on your bellies on the ground. So just a little bit. Come up so that you can come back to laying on the ground, belly down. And we will drag our right knee up on the floor towards our right armpit. Okay, this is like the most interesting way to get into a twist, all right? So this is how it goes. We got the right knee up. Now you're gonna lift yourself up a little bit, just like we did before. And you're gonna bring your left arm under and across. And you're gonna open your right arm over to the other side, and you're gonna find yourself in a reclining, yummy, juicy twist. Nothing really needs to happen here. Your shoulder doesn't need to be on the ground. Your knee doesn't need to be on the ground. But if you want to put some weight on your legs or on your arms, just so that you can release into this twist a little bit more without feeling that you're going to roll out of it, then yes, feel free to adjust. You want to be comfortable and you want not comfortable. I mean, it's a twist, so it's pretty juicy, but it can be quite intense for some. But again, in Yin Yoga, we like the little discomfort, but we do not like stabbing, kind of needle sensation pain. So if you're feeling any kind of stabbing, sharp kind of sensation, you want to move away from that. But just a general kind of discomfort, tension, that's good. That we stay, we breathe, we take the prana there with our breath and our loving kindness, awareness. Once again, scan your body. Notice if there's anything that's active that can be released, switched off. Even if it's just the eyes inside the eye socket. Scan every part of your body. Is there anything you can't let go of? A little bit more. It's our last few moments here. And then gently starting to bring that top arm back across. And as slow as you can, moving towards your rebound. You can just stay on your side in a little fetal cross amoeba kind of shape. Or whatever you want. You can lay with your belly down, your belly up. We're gonna be here for a few moments. And slowly finding your way back to laying on your belly. Don't move fast at all, just continuing this yin, cultivating energy. Come to lay with your belly down and start to drag your left knee up towards your armpit. Then lift up slightly. Bring that right arm under you over to the other side. And then open the left arm to the other side, finding yourself in your twist. Also, I love to explore and twist the positionings of the head because we're always told to look in the opposite side of the twist. But actually, if you look to the same side, at least for me, I get a really nice stretch on the side of my neck and shoulder. So maybe you want to play a little bit with the positioning of your head and see where it suits you better today, depending what you have going on in your body. Then once you have found your pose, starting to be completely still, inviting the body to relax and release. Allowing everything to simply be. For these last few moments here, give yourself one more scan from the head to the toes and observe if there's anything that you can release a little bit more. Perhaps around the hips and the stomach. And always the jaw. The jaw is like in every position you get, release the jaw because the jaw is totally connected to our nervous system. And if your jaw is tense, there's no way the nervous system can relax. So if you need a starting point, always start with the jaw. Make sure that's completely relaxed. And then you continue scanning throughout the rest of the body until you arrive in your toes. We're entering the last few moments in your twist. And slowly, as you're ready, you start to bring the left arm back over across to the other side. You have a little rebound to enjoy in any pose of your choice without making so many movements, without disturbing the body so much. The least amount of movements, the better. And then when you arrive in that spot, observe the feelings in the physical body, the quality of the mind, the feelings in the heart. Without judgment, without expectations. There's no right or wrong here. There's nothing that should be happening. So just this this playfulness with curiosity, using our bodies as a laboratory to explore and to get to know ourselves better. All right, and from wherever you decided to take this rebound, start to make your way to laying on your back. If you're already there, you can just hug your knees in towards your chest for a few moments. You can roll side to side, giving your spine a little massage on the floor. And now I think we're all ready for our Shavasana. So if you want to put some music, or you want to cover your body, or you want to cover your eyes, take a moment to make sure you have everything you need for this Shavasana. And as you lay with your spine with your whole body on the floor, make sure your legs are spread away from each other, your arms away from the body, shoulders down, away from the ears, and your lower back ideally as close to the ground as you can. So if you need to bring the feet down and then tilt your pelvis forward so that your lower back, your sacrum, goes closer to the ground, then you straighten out your legs a little bit. You might find that that gap between your lower back and the ground is a little bit less now. And if you wish, you can take a deep breath in through the nose, open your mouth, and let it out. Nice, you have some exhales here in the room to encourage you at home if you feel awkward. Inhale through the nose, open your mouth. Good one. Last one. Let's do it together. Inhale. Open your mouth. And let it out. Beautiful. In your Shavasana, it's the most important part of your practice. So just enjoy this moment to be with yourself, to allow the yoga to do its part. This is where all the magic happens. So basically, we just need to get ourselves out of the way and enjoy the journey to wherever your Shavasana takes you today. And slowly starting to take deep breaths, conscious breaths into the body, coming back in layers until you arrive in the physical body, till you arrive back on your mat. And then introducing small gentle movements that might feel good for you. Might be moving the fingers, might be moving the head. Some people like to stretch it out a little bit more. Some people prefer to hug it in or to twist it out. So take this time to do whatever intuitively comes to you. And then you can roll to a fetal position, laying on either side. And the fetal pose, the pose of the rebirth of the yogi, after the shavasana, the corpse pose. We get the opportunity to be reborn. So deciding, checking in with who is being reborn right here, right now. And then using whatever hand is on the ground to help you lift to a seated position. Keeping your eyes closed, moving gently, not to disturb the body. Coming to any position where you can sit with a straight spine. Just a few moments to sit with the results of your practice today. If you were able to stay present with your breath, if you're able to honor your intention, if you perhaps had any insights or realizations throughout your practice. If you're able to learn anything about yourself, using yoga as your tool for self-mastery, for self-development. Let's bring your hands in prayer in front of the heart center, uniting our hands and uniting our intentions and our hearts. Take all the time you need to seal your practice in any way that resonates with you. I dedicate this practice to each and every one of you and to the happiness of all beings with no exceptions. Thank you very much for joining me today. Namaste. Namaste. All right, thank you so much for joining. I did go a little bit over. I hope that was fine with you. Don't forget, Gypsy Amazon is supporting our offer of free online classes, offering an amazing campaign where they're giving out 50% of all sales to the yoga teacher communities. So if you want to grab yourself an amazing pair of leggings, go into gypsyamazon.com. Grab yourself the coolest leggings ever and put Marcella 2020 as you check out. All right, thank you so much for joining. I'll see you next time. Thank you guys here in the room for being with us. You guys want to see who you've been practicing with? Maybe that one. Stay here. I'll show you guys around. This is our yoga room, and then we have Eva, Ale, Julie. We have Martin still down there. Yes, here. Thank you guys. Namaste.